Good evening, I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Bob Fryer. An emotional farewell today for Kaylee Anthony.
The Orange County toddler who captured the hearts of so many people everywhere. Today, more than 1,000 family, friends, and even strangers gathered in the First Baptist Church of Orlando. They mourned with music and shared stories of the little girl whose life was cut short as her mother, who was charged with Kaylee's murder, remains behind bars. The family, though, said they are united.
It breaks my heart today that Casey's not with us today to honor her child, whom she loves so very, very much. Casey, I hope you're able to hear me today. I love you, and I wish I could comfort you right now.
We have Local 6 live team coverage remembering Kaylee, including more from her grandmother, Cindy Anthony, and her pointed message aimed directly at her daughter, Casey. We're also getting reaction from those who attended the service. But first, let's go to Adam Longo, who is inside the church for today's tribute. Adam.
Yeah, Jackie, a very personal service today. Really feel like we learned more about Kaylee Anthony today in 2 hours than we have over the past 7 months. We heard a lot about Grandpa Jojo and Grandma Cece and Uncle E. Today, hearing a lot about a little girl who we're just learning today loved green beans and SpongeBob SquarePants.
Or there are days we just don't know what to say. And this is one of those days.
Today is the first day we've seen the Anthony family together in public since Kaylee's remains were found in December. It'll be 2 months ago tomorrow.
This family is united. But this family is incomplete. I am incomplete.
Each of the Anthony family members took the stage to speak, and they each brought a deeply personal touch to the service. Lee Anthony fought back tears. He spoke slowly and surely and defended his sister Casey.
I ask that you fill your heart with patience and grace, and that you allow yourself to yield any judgments that you may already have.
Kaylee loved vegetables. She loved green beans. She would eat them so quickly, and I would like, wow, how could you make these disappear?
George Anthony's stories of interaction with Kaylee brought the crowd to laugh with him and cry with him.
Her presence is still at home with me every day. I can close my eyes and I can see her coming from her bedroom.
I see a family who's hurting. I see a family in pain.
Church singer Kyle Thomas just met the Anthony family within the past couple weeks. And like Casey, he once spent time in the Orange County Jail. He could see the cross on top of the church from a window in his jail cell.
Today, my heart was broken for him. But what I saw today, more than anything, wasn't a funeral. It was a celebration.
And a celebration is exactly what the Anthony family wanted today. No interruptions, no distractions. They wanted the focus squarely on Kaylee. And today they got it. Live at First Baptist Church in Orlando tonight. Adam Longo, Local 6.
Adam, so many people were watching from their homes. What was it like to actually be inside the church during the memorial with all of the family members right there?
Right. It was a very somber service, not as packed as a lot of people had anticipated. We've reported the whole, just for the past couple of days, Jackie, that they can hold 5,000 people in there. We're speculating there was probably about 1,000 people in there. At many points throughout the service, I'm not sure what sort of cutaways that the camera folks in the church took, but a lot of folks there in tears, especially as soon as the lights went down in the church for the memorial video tribute to Kaylee. You could almost see everyone's eyes there in the church just gloss over. Big security presence on hand. We'll talk about that, and we'll share with you what Attorney Brad Conway had to say after the service. We'll bring that to you coming up at 6, Jackie.
As he said, a lot of people have further insight to this little girl's life. Adam, thank you.
Now, Kaylee's grandmother, Cindy, spoke directly to her daughter, Casey, who obviously sits behind bars at the Orange County Jail, charged with Kaylee's murder. Jessica D'Onofrio is out there live. And, you know, Jess, it's worth noting here that Cindy spoke to Casey, but this memorial was not what Casey wanted.
It isn't what Casey wanted, but Cindy spoke to her daughter, Casey, very directly today. And regardless, she wanted Casey to know that the family loves her. But mostly, Cindy shared memories of Kaylee.
I remember the day that Casey came to me to tell me the news that I would be a grandmother, as though it was yesterday. I remember her beauty and her radiance as she spoke. My immediate reaction was of total peace and joy. I knew that our lives would be blessed, but I never realized just how blessed until the day that Kaylee Marie was born.
Cindy Anthony broke her silence today to remember her granddaughter Kaylee.
Kaylee loved the water, and she was becoming a good swimmer. Her and I used to spend a lot of time together in the pool, and I'm going to miss those days. My favorite times when she would come in on Sunday morning and wake me up, and her face would be right in my face. Cece, wake up. She'd be right there.
Cindy, many times perceived as the backbone of the family, comforted her son Lee while he spoke by putting a hand on his back. She also comforted her daughter Casey through words, as Casey sits in a jail cell accused of murdering little Kaylee.
Mostly the things I miss is watching the love that she shared with her mother. It breaks my heart today that Casey's not with us today to honor her child, whom she loved so very, very much. Casey, I hope you're able to hear me today. I love you, and I wish I could comfort you right now. I wish I could take away all of your pain and wipe away your tears. I want to thank you for giving me the greatest gift that I have ever received, and that is for Kaylee Marie.
Cindy still standing by her daughter despite mounting evidence against her.
Stay strong, my child. God will keep you safe. And Kaylee is watching over all of us.
Cindy also noted in her speech that she believes that Kaylee was put on this earth to bring people hope. Live in Orlando, Jessica D'Onofrio, Local 6.
You know, Jess, we know that there was room inside the church for thousands more, but I understand that at the door of the church there was someone with a list of people who were not allowed inside.
There was a do not admit list, Bob, and I actually have a copy of it here. At the top of the list, you can see bounty hunter Leonard Padilla was on the do not admit list. Also, if you turn the page, TV talk show host Nancy Grace. There were some fears that some of the people on this list could be carrying a concealed weapon. There were about 150 threats, I'm told, against the Anthony family today. So I'm told they didn't have any problems, nothing got disorderly, and everything went very smoothly today. Bob?
Padilla and Nancy Grace definitely outspoken against the Anthony family. All right. Thank you, Jess. Casey's attorney, Jose Baez, he spent nearly the entire time of the service with her inside the Orange County Jail. He went inside with his laptop, but he refused to say whether or not he watched online the service with Casey.
I felt it was important that I would be here, so I came for that specific purpose.
To help her get through it?
To be with her at this time.
And Baez spoke about the perception that there is some sort of a rift between Casey and her parents over the best way to lay Kaylee to rest. Casey was against, as I said, this public memorial. Instead, Baez says that she preferred something more private. But he also says that Casey and her parents are completely supportive of each other.
Many of the 1,200 people who attended the morning service never knew young Kaylee or the Anthony family for that matter. But as Lewis Bolden found, a number of mourners shared a tragic connection to that family. Lewis, what was that?
Well, Jackie, one woman told me there is no pain like the pain of a mother or a grandparent losing a child. She says there is a special connection between people who do. In fact, she referred to it as a club.
Like I said, I belong to a club that nobody wants to join.
Judy Aponte says it's a club she didn't choose to join. Instead, it chose her. She is one of many people who lined up to say their goodbyes to Kaylee Anthony. As a mother who has lost a child, she feels a kinship to the Anthonys.
I know exactly what they're feeling. And when I heard about George Anthony breaking down, I've been there.
Deborah Smith is another member of the club, another mother who's lost a child. She lost her son in Iraq.
You can lose a mother, father, sister, brother. But when you lose a child, come from you, it's a pain nobody will understand if they never had it to happen to them.
The lines for the Kaylee Anthony Memorial formed well before the service. While many people feel sympathetic for the family, there seems to be a bond between mothers. Rachel Miller brought her son Devin and 3-year-old daughter Sabraya. She's never lost a child, but having one the same age as Kaylee, she had to offer support.
Being a mom, that's one of the reasons I came, because I would hope that if it was my child and everybody would come out for me.
Kathy Dand is a preschool teacher and a grandmother of 6. She wanted Cindy and George Anthony to know they have her support.
I just feel like it's really important that God's people stick together and support the family at this time and give them a lot of love.
Now, several of the people leaving today's service say they hope that Cindy and George and Lee Anthony feel a sense of closure now, and they hope the entire community does. Reporting live at First Baptist Church of Orlando, I'm Lewis Bolden, Local 6.
Lewis, thank you. Of course, you want to keep it right here for more coverage. Remembering Kaylee, coming up on a special edition of Local 6 News at 5.